Alright lads, so today we did get the announcement of our next 5-star plus accessories. In this case, stated to be releasing on the 14th of April, so a day later than usual for some reason. Usually these come out on the 13th alongside the Path to 5-star plus event, which I assume is also now dropping a day later on the 14th. This badge this time around is actually pretty decent in regards to the heavy bag that is getting upgraded. But other than that, it's basically just that accessory that's worth talking about, because we are only getting 2 accessories upgraded this month, the heavy bag and the steamed meat bun. From the looks of it though, the steamed meat bun is going to take silver hammers, and with that in mind, it's not really worth upgrading right from the get-go. The buff it's getting right now is very similar to any other food item and any upcoming food item that will be getting the upgrades. Where originally the resistance is like 50%, it's going up to 80%, while also offering 10% more attack and also spiritual pressure. In regards to that, it's actually almost perfect. Like, I really feel like it should have been 100%, because while it is rare for you to actually do this, whenever you are using an item like this, an accessory that gives you resistance, you always have to use 2 items. So either 2 accessories, you have to use an accessory and a link, or a link and a bonus ability. So for this to get an upgrade, I would have really loved to have seen it just outright get rid of having 2 needs to be immune to 1 stat as a minute. If this upgrade was able to completely give you that immunity while also offering 10% more attack and spiritual pressure, it would have been really good when you actually do need it. More often than not nowadays you don't. Unless you're using an old character, everyone that you are using, especially when it comes to content where it's important like guild quests, they have the immunity, right? The only recent example of a character they have been using something like this on is Askin, but Askin's a very rare case of a brave battle character, being also pretty good in guild quests for his respective weeks, and also not have any immunity. So more often than not, the character you are using in guild quests where you do come across those resistances, they have immunity, so this upgrade is basically just kind of there. Doesn't really impact much. However, the heavy bag right here, it's actually a really good upgrade. And again, it's surprising to see accessories like this get such a good upgrade. And then like, what, a month or 2 ago, we had the fortification pill, or most of the hollow bay actually, but the fortification pill should go down the same route, get such a minute upgrade. It's kind of crazy to see. So what we are seeing here is that now when you get your heavy bags to 5-star plus, it will be offering 16% more melee damage, but that gets further increased to 32% in guild quest content. This accessory has an alternative version, the ranged one, which I believe is called the speedball, so likely that is going to be next month's upgrade, or very soon at the very least. And the upgrade that speedball will have will be almost the exact same of what we are seeing here with the heavy bag. Now the reason why this is important is because what you are seeing right now at just normal 5-star, it's offering 20. And this is already now, when it comes to guild quest building, one of the better accessories that you can use. Because all the new cards that we are using now, with all the ways that we can power them up, and with the changes made to the guild quest, bosses in terms of defense, you don't need that much spiritual pressure nowadays, because naturally you can just give them enough. And with that in mind, you can exchange a fortification pill and instead put on a heavy bag. And that's what people have been doing lately. I use this accessory almost every time I am playing in guild quests. This and also the speedball, because having an extra multiplier, more melee damage or range damage, just overall gives you a bit more damage compared to maybe just giving yourself more SP when your character probably already has enough. So this accessory was already good, a mainstay for a lot of people at 20%, and now it's going to 32%. So this is going to be an accessory more so for us guild quest heads. If you don't care much about guild quests, you can just stick to the normal build that you've probably been using. But for those that do care about guild quests and always want to go for like the highest scores possible, complete an S rank or maybe a top A guild, you're likely going to want to upgrade this, because this will be making guild quests easier, but also let you maybe score a tad bit higher. The reason why I say it's not going to be that needed for the non-guild quest heads is that unless you're doing guild quests where you're like maybe 5, maybe let's exaggerate, 10 seconds, you just need 10 more seconds to beat a guild quest, maybe this will make a difference. But if you're not even getting to the 5th boss, if you're playing with like 10 seconds to spare, what I mean is like, this upgrade isn't going to make that much of a difference. It's only going to make a difference if you're very, very close, like a second or 2 away from beating a particular guild quest. If you are, then maybe upgrading it, getting that extra damage output is going to help. But nonetheless, I mean, if you're not using any golden hammers, if you have plenty to spare, you might want to upgrade this during a certain guild quest phase to make your character deal more damage. Now, I think it's safe to assume, given this accessory is actually pretty good, it's going to take golden hammers, and hopefully only 5. Lately, the trend's been 10 golden hammers. And given the upgrade here, I wouldn't even be surprised, and it would be or maybe warranted to use 10 golden hammers on this because it is a good upgrade, right? When you compare that again to the holo bait that we did get, and eventually the fortification pill, because that's going to go down the same route. I mean, this uses 10 golden hammers for what is going to give you like, what, a 4% attack increase? A 3% attack increase, 3% focus, like quite a minimal upgrades when compared to what the Masanga's got, the strong attack damage items got, and also now the speed ball and also heavy bag are going to get. So just further reasons why I'm more disappointed with this particular accessories upgrade, because it really should have been 40% attack, 40% focus, and then minus 40% stamina. That way to balance it the best, you know? Because again, it is just weird to see like the negative effect get further increased when compared to the positive effects. With that in mind, you know, like I mentioned it last month, I believe, like it's still a good accessory. You're still going to use holo baits anyway. Nothing's really changed in that regards, but it would be nice just to get more out of the very limited gold hammers that we do have. And since we are here, we might as well talk about the best builds for your characters, right? Using this phase as an example with 1000 Battle Byakuya, he just returned. You might have pulled him. Hopefully you did. But in general, these are the accessories that you want to use when it comes to the best build for Guild Quest. If you are special move level 1 out to 5, likely you want to have 2 of these accessories give you 30% focus. Since my Byakuya is 2-5, I'm going full spiritual pressure. Now the speed ball, like I did mention, isn't going to get its upgrade this month, but likely it will get it in due time. But assuming Byakuya was a melee character, you would use a 5-star plus badge, giving you 35% strong attack damage. You would then use the 5-star plus punching bag, which again, like you're seeing here, you would use at 5-star. At 5-star plus, you're overall just getting more damage. And then like always, no matter what, you're always going to use the killer sticker. In the case for a guild quest where you aren't using a sticker, let's say for example, a Sparta, Captain, Squad 0, you would then use the 5-star plus Masanga. No need to use the Masanga right now because stickers are still better. And at this point, honestly, you may be even better off putting a speed ball or punching bag on characters like this, normal attack damage characters, just to give them again extra multipliers, more melee damage, range damage, depending on the character you are using, right? I probably should do that on Tenjiro. Because like I said already, like this is like the way you want to build your characters. You don't kind of want to stack something that they already have a lot of, right? So when it comes to normal attack damage characters, in a lot of cases, you might be more beneficial going with full stamina. That's how we are using this Renji, because, you know, Tenjiro already has so much normal attack damage, but he doesn't have that much full stamina built into the character, so more full stam does help him out. So that's kind of the reason why we start to see these accessories come back into the meta, at least as far as Guild Quest is concerned, because these new characters kind of already have a lot built into them. Building something that they don't have much of is a good idea to do. But it is kind of funny, at least when it comes to Captain Guild Quest, Sparta, Squad 0, etc. Once this, you know, punching bag and speedball eventually get their upgrades, you are going to be able to make a full build of just 5-star plus accessories. So we are getting to that point in due time, and I will be honest, I'm kind of dreading the day the killer stickers get their 5-star plus upgrades, because, you know, with the speedball, the punching bag, you only need like, what, 50 hammers for each item? You only need to upgrade 1 accessory per attribute, and it covers every ranged character, every melee character. So in total, 100 golden hammers will get you covered for every character in your books. When it comes to the stickers, I mean, that's going to be a bit rough, because like there's so many killer stickers in all attributes too. If they take golden hammers, if they take 10 golden hammers, which they likely will because it is a good accessory, that's going to be quite draining in our golden hammer income, I will be honest. So lucky for us, the range damage item, the melee damage item, you know, you only have to upgrade 1 in every attribute. Because when it comes to team building too, very rarely do you ever use 2 characters like SP units. We are using Tenjiro as our go-to normal attack damage character and also team booster. You might be actually better off giving him the range damage item instead of a holo bait. So maybe you have to upgrade 2. Then again, maybe not, because I was going to say you have to upgrade 2 in every attribute, but, you know, that only depends if you are using 2 hard characters. Like I said, if I upgraded a ranged one, because like I said, imagine I upgraded this item right here. Let's just say I changed it to 30% attack. I will only have to use on green characters. So unless I'm using 2 characters in the same attribute, I won't need to actually upgrade more than 1 item per attribute, if that kind of makes sense. And at the same time too, when it comes to your third character, at least in this guild quest phase, which does happen quite often, a lot of times your third character is just a team supporter. Instead of having like an extra normal attack damage character or an extra spiritual pressure unit, you're kind of just better off buffing your main character, which is already doing a lot of damage as is. Especially in the case of Byakuya, instead of using a third character here, we're better off putting on the Mugetsu link, putting on Toshiro. That way we get 20% more strong attack damage, 20% more damage to stats afflicted enemies, and also 20% more strong attack damage in general from the the Mugetsu Soul Tray. That's how I set up my team, and that's what you're going to be doing in the future when it comes to the best builds possible. Since we are here, though, let's just do some example runs, right? So let's go in, SA3, into the 1, we 2-shot there. Keep in mind, my Byakuya is 2-5, SA2, into the 1. We didn't actually inflict a stat element right away, but fortunately for us, we do have someone like Tendra in our team. Probably should have soul bumped in that stage since I didn't have any strong attacks ready. But the idea when using Byakuya is that you want to have like at least 2 strong attacks ready per phase. And every time a wave spawns in, 2 strong attacks is all you really need to take the boss down. Sometimes you get unlucky with RNG. You do want to inflict a stat element on that first hit, or that first strong attack at the bare minimum, but with Byakuya's increased chance, it doesn't take too many resets to get an actual good run, fortunately for him. So in this case, not the greatest run, but we're just going in and showing an example. Super easily done, right? That was with no reset, just went in, went out, and we got like, what, 40 seconds remaining? You know, if this speedball or punching bag was upgradable right now we did that run, it could have saved us an extra 3 seconds potentially. And that's basically just using this build. So when it comes to guild quests, you want to try and make builds like this. Killer sticker, strong attack damage item of 5-star plus, and also a punching bag or speedball, depending on the range type of your character. And now with both of them potentially getting their upgrade soon, the punching bag this month, hopefully the speedball next month, it's going to make our guild quest builds a lot better, and also make guild quests technically easier because you're getting more damage. So yeah, when it comes to the 2 new accessories getting the upgrade, I will not be upgrading the steamed meat bun, but I definitely will be upgrading the heavy bag in all 5 attributes. So that's 50 golden hammers potentially being taken away from me next month, or I guess this month. And I will likely do the same thing again for the speedballs when they get their upgrades. So only 2 accessories are getting upgraded this month, but we do have a pretty good one coming our way if you do care about guild quest scores. If you don't, you can probably go without upgrading this. In the comments below though, let me know what you think about the upgrades, and I'll see you lads next time. Take care and peace.